Saturday night, Canelo Alvarez successfully defended his unified super middleweight title against Edgar Berlanga in what turned out to be a one-sided affair, as many had anticipated. Canelo was simply too skilled, too intelligent, too experienced, and too consistent for Berlanga to mount any serious challenge. Throughout the fight, Canelo controlled the action, delivering a beautiful knockdown in the third round. To his credit, Berlanga showed a lot of heart, managing to have a few moments here and there, but he was clearly outclassed over the course of the fight. Despite taking some rounds, Berlanga was simply not on Canelo's level. While Canelo may no longer be at his absolute peak, he still remains an incredibly sharp, talented, and dangerous fighter. So what's next for the Mexican superstar? During the DAZN broadcast, 3 potential opponents were suggested: Terence Crawford, Dimitri Bivol, and David Benavidez. Of these, the fight fans have been clamoring for most is Canelo versus Benavidez. However, for a variety of reasons, this matchup has not materialized yet, and it's hard to see it coming together anytime soon. That said, it would be an exciting clash, and I would love to be proven wrong on this front. Benavidez is fresh off a dominant 12-round decision victory against Alexander Gvozdyk back in June at 175 pounds. Now, let's consider Dimitri Bivol, who is set to face Artur Beterbiev on October 12 for the undisputed light heavyweight title. There's no certainty that Bivol will win that fight, given Beterbiev's immense power and relentless style. But if Bivol does come out on top, a rematch with Canelo makes perfect sense. Well, speaking of Beterbiev, Americans are scared and uncertain about how Beterbiev might take a beating. Canelo has already expressed interest in a second fight with Bivol if the Russian wins, and this would give Canelo the chance to avenge his previous loss. Moreover, a victory over Bivol would put Canelo in a position to claim the undisputed crown at light heavyweight, which would be a massive achievement for his legacy. Finally, there's the intriguing possibility of a showdown with Terence Crawford. This is a fight that Saudi sports executive Turki Al-Sheikh seemed keen on making, though he appeared to lose interest after hearing Canelo's high demands for the matchup. While the fight remains a long shot for now, the idea of Canelo stepping up to face Crawford, a pound-for-pound king in his own right, is one that continues to capture the imagination of fans worldwide. Who will Canelo face next? It's still uncertain, but whatever direction he chooses, one thing is clear. The legacy of the great Canelo Alvarez continues to evolve, and his next move will be closely watched by fans and analysts alike. I'm not entirely convinced that this back and forth between Canelo and Turki is anything more than each side trying to leverage the situation to their advantage in order to get this fight over the line. While I firmly believe Terence Crawford is, at worst, a top 3 pound-for-pound talent right now, I didn't see enough in his 154-pound debut against Jermell Charlo to suggest he can hang with Canelo at 168, especially given how Canelo just outclassed Edgar Berlanga. Despite that, the appeal of a potential Crawford-Canelo showdown is undeniable because of the sheer star power and P4P credentials both fighters bring to the table. However, this is the matchup I'm least excited for among the 3 options, if only because I feel the size difference is just too much for Crawford to overcome. Even though I love his dance-solid work, if I had to rank the potential opponents, the one I'm most interested in seeing is Canelo versus Dimitri Bivol, provided Bivol beats Artur Beterbiev in their upcoming fight. That would create the ideal rematch, offering Canelo a chance to avenge his previous loss to Bivol, while also adding to his already impressive legacy if he were to take the undisputed light heavyweight title. That said, if Bivol loses to Beterbiev, I think the next best option would be Canelo against Bivol Vicen. While many fans think Canelo would never take that fight, I'm not so sure. Depending on how the Bivol-Beterbiev bout unfolds, I could see Canelo being more willing to take on the winner than people might expect. The Benavidez fight, which has been the most anticipated by fans for years, still seems like the least likely option at this point, especially given the various factors that have kept it from happening so far. If it does come together, it would be an explosive showdown, but I won't be holding my breath. As for Crawford, I feel like the fight against him is probably the most likely to happen next, even though it's my least favorite matchup for Canelo. The size disadvantage for Crawford at 168 is a real concern, but the stylistic contrast between the two would still make it an intriguing clash. Regardless of any posturing or negotiations, the buzz around the fight would be undeniable. The stupid thing I hear is, I don't have a son, I have a daughter. And then, I think, at the end of the day, while Canelo isn't quite the same fighter he was when he dominated 168 to become the first ever undisputed super middleweight champion, he still has more than enough left in the tank to be a force in that division. In my opinion, the biggest challenge for him at 168 would come from either Benavidez or Bivol, should Bivol move down to that weight. But if Canelo wants to take on a high-risk, high-reward fight that would cement his legacy, I believe facing the winner of Bivol versus Beterbiev would be the ultimate challenge. As for Canelo's win over Berlanga, I thought it was a textbook performance. He displayed the ring IQ, skill, and control we've come to expect from him. Berlanga showed a lot of heart and toughness, but he was simply outclassed in every way. What do you think about Canelo's victory over Berlanga? And who would you like to see him fight next? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great night. Keanu Durango. Oh, and Demi Moore. Wow, she still looks amazing. Yes, she does. Yeah.